Today's topic, coming out as transgender to your children. If you believe you may be transgender, you're not alone. There are over 1 million transgender people out in America today. Of course, that's only the ones that are out now identifying as transgender. This does not reflect those that are still coming to understand their gender identity or may choose to stay in the closet. Transgender people may have numerous reasons for staying closeted about their identity. Safety and security is the number one reason many trans and LGBT people may opt to stay secretive about their identity. Lack of support, not knowing any allies or transgender people can lead to feeling isolated, which can be another contributing factor to staying silent. Feeling as if a person will be unaccepted as their true gender identity, or not knowing how others will react to the news of coming out, or believing the reaction will be a negative one can factor into a person's decision to stay quiet. Coming out is necessary for some transgender people. They cannot deny it any longer. They refuse to allow others to perceive them as someone they're not. It can be a relief, a way to be more honest and open. These trans folks may make an announcement on social media, send a letter or an email, or have a get-together to discuss it. I run an online support group for transgender parents, meaning parents that are transgender themselves. I hear so many times the question, how do I come out to my children as trans? Let's go over some tactics to staying safe and having a greater chance of a positive outcome. Know your audience. Is this person a known bigot, or are they open-minded? Asking yourself these questions about who the person is and what their personal beliefs are about being judgmental versus being accepting can be a good place to start. For example, an adult with a history of bigoted comments about other minorities may also be transphobic or have a fear of trans people. Another example is a 5-year-old child that may have a flexible understanding of gender and reality, and may be fully capable of understanding a person is who they are on the inside. Choose a safe place. Perhaps choose a nice, well-lit atmosphere with people around, but enough room for some privacy while speaking. Just in case things go south, you'll have more folks around to help ensure your safety. Plus, being around others may deter some from being violent. An isolated living room of a home has the potential to become an unsafe place very quickly. Keep the mood in mind. A good mood, a happy day when people are feeling great is a good time to bring up news. This way, folks are more apt to see this honesty as a positive aspect. Practice what to say. Having in mind what you'll say, perhaps by writing it down first, is a good way to include all the points you want to make. Making a draft, then sending a letter or email can help to ensure that you cover everything as well. Talking into a recorder or practicing in the mirror is another way to ensure that you have everything you want to talk about. Ask allies to be there. Having one or more friends or family members that can attend can help you as well. Having someone to accompany you can help give you the confidence and emotional support that you need to be honest and open about your identity. What information should you include? Give as much or as little detail as you're comfortable. A simple explanation may be the easiest depending on the audience. More detail may be required for those that are old enough to have questions. Details like seeing a therapist, being under a doctor's care, may be good to include in helping avoid health concerns or worries that your children may have. Highlight the positives of coming out. By explaining this will be a positive change, may help your children to understand this is something to better your life. Coming out to family and friends is a big decision. Coming out to your children may be the scariest ones to come out to. I know I always want love and acceptance from my children. Hopefully this will be what other children give their parents. Finally, this time has come to tell the truth. Thankfully, Younger children have a more flexible understanding of the world because they can remember a time in their lives when everything was a brand new concept, meaning they can usually accept the news as long as they know that you love them and you have to be yourself. Children often need to be reminded during this time that you'll always be their parent. In my experience, telling them things like, "My love for you will never change, even if my body does. I'm always going to be your parent. I will always be here for you. I'm doing this for me to be happier. I'm telling you so that I can be honest." It can get a bit more complicated when offspring is of an older crowd. They can feel as if they have lost someone after you begin to transition. Letting them know that you have to be honest, you don't want to live a lie, that can help. For me, letting my family know I cannot hide anymore and it's a relief to be me helped them to understand. When I came out, I tried to frame the conversation in a matter-of-fact way and highlight the benefits for myself. For example, I've held this in a long time. It's a relief to get it out. This has been a burden. I'm being more honest now. I've come to know myself better. I can finally be happier about how people see me. I want to be more authentic. I have to be myself. Although we cannot completely predict how someone may react, we can prepare ourselves for both the best and worst case scenarios. After coming out, I have the love and support of my partner and 2 children. Unfortunately, I did lose the remainder of my family. I chose to come out to them via text and email since we lived over 1,500 miles away and it did not go well. My father has still yet to respond to emails, phone calls, and voicemails, and my stepmother wrote me a response stating that she knew me better than I did and I was my birth gender and not transgender. And my sister wrote to me saying that I was brainwashed and the next time she saw me, she would inflict bodily harm. On a better note, I've come out to tens of thousands of strangers doing in-person outreach, blog advertising, and just telling our story. I've had a handful of people to react negatively, but overall, it seemed easier to come out to total strangers than it did my family. After the removal of my family, the guilt I carried around due to their disapproval was gone. No more burden of attempting to gain their approval. In short, coming out can be stressful, but knowing who you are telling, how they might respond, and keeping yourself safe in populated places and pointing out the positives to coming out can really help to shape a positive coming out experience. For some great reading tips about coming out, pflag.org and Transactive are great. I'll include the links in the description. In closing, I would like to share some of the group members' responses to coming out to their children. I wish you the best. Happy coming out.